Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Here I am today with a question which is important from the examination point of view, and we will learn how to adapt to that very question. And the question is the reference to context question, and we are given a passage, and we have to write the context of the passage. That is where from that question has been taken. We have to give a reference of that very lesson, and while giving the reference of that very lesson, we will also give a short introduction, a brief introduction of that very lesson. And here, then we will explain that the lines which we have been asked to explain. And here, I have chosen the passage. We will read the passage, then we will try to learn from which lesson this passage has been taken from, and we will try to attempt to this question. Here is the passage. Shamal cast another glance towards the window of the adjacent house. Seeing no one there, she shouted loudly on the hands. Shoo! Shoo! A plague on you! The poor hungry fellow! You won't let him feed in peace. One would think you had nothing to eat for days. So this is the passage. When we come across the character Shamal, we immediately learn this is from the cockfight, and the cockfight is a lesson written by Amin Kamal. And when we learn about the hens, about the adjacent neighbor, so there remains no doubt where from these lines have been taken from. So we write the context and uh, write and mention in that from which lesson these lines have been taken from. So we write these lines have been taken from the story The Cockfight by Amin Kamil. Johnny the Skinny and Shamal were the neighbors. This is the a brief introduction of the story. Johnny the Skinny and Shamal were two neighbors. Johnny had five hens and a cock, and Shamal had only two hens and no cock. Shamal was having not a cock, and we're writing here, we're giving information to our examiner who evaluates us. Shamal insisted her husband to buy a cock. You can write Shamal insisted her husband Gulam Khan, because we know Gulam Khan is her husband. She insisted her to buy a new cock. Initially, he was reluctant. Reluctant means unwilling. Initially, he was not ready to buy a new cock, but he bought it then. Shamal wanted Johnny the Skinny to know that they have bought a new car. Now Shamal was excited, she was happy, and she wanted her adjacent neighbor to know that now finally they have bought a new car. She bought some rice, we can say rice grains, and scattered it on the ground before the cock. She scattered the rice grains before the cock. उसने दाना डाला कॉक को मुर्गे को दाना डाला. He started eating it as it was hungry, and as he was hungry, वो उस इस तरह से खा लिया जैसे वो कई दिनों से भूखा था, दुकान से आया था, हो सकता है भूखा भी हो. The hens took it as a special favor to the new cock. तो मुर्गियों ने समझ लिया भाई ये नया मुर्गा जो है इसके लिए तो स्पेशल फेवर है, इसके लिए तो स्पेशली दाने डाले गए. दे जॉइन द कॉक, वो भी कॉक के साथ जो है दाना खाने लगे, और कॉक ने उनको मना नहीं किया. Jamal took it as a chance to raise her tone or speak loudly or shout at them so that neighbor Johnny, the skinny could hear and then learn about the new bought car. So कि मुझे यहाँ एक्सप्लेन करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, बट बता दूंगा कि श्यामल ने इसी को मौका समझते हुए कि मैं ये मुर्गियों पर चिल्लाऊँ ताकि आवाज़ निकले, और आवाज़ जो है मेरी पड़ोसी जो है जॉनी द स्किनी सुन ले, और उसको पता चले कि हमने एक नया कॉक लाया है जो ये उसको बताना चाहती है. तो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, इसके बाद हम इन लाइंस की एक्सप्लेनेशन कर देंगे. पहले हमने क्या किया, पहले हमने ये बता दिया कि लेसन कहाँ से आया, ये लाइंस कहाँ से आए, किस लेसन से ली गई है, व्हाट इज़ द लेसन ऑल अबाउट. और एक्सप्लेनेशन में हम कहेंगे ये लाइन्स, ये हम फिर से पढ़ लेंगे तो हमें पता चलता है इन दीज लाइन्स यू सी Shahmal cast another glance towards the window of the adjacent house. In these lines, the writer says that Shahmal looked second time, another glance towards the window of her neighbor. Glance, it is a hurried look. It is a brief overview of something. It is a bird's eye view. It is a bird's एक सरसरी जायजा लिया उसने अपने पड़ोस की खिड़की का। ये इन लाइनों में बताया गया है जानी के घर की तरफ उसने देखा। शी फाउंड नो वन एट द नेबर्स विंडो, वहाँ खिड़की पे कोई नहीं था। सो शाउट लाउडली, तो ज़रूरी बात है उसने चिल्लाया ताकि उनकी अटेंशन, वो अंदर भी हो सुन ले और अटेंशन हम उसका कैप्चर कर लें। और शी विल कम आउट थ्रू द विंडो, शी विल सी द न्यू कार, जो ये उसको बताना चाहती है कि दैट वी हैव बॉट द वन। शी वांटेड द नेबर to hear her and know that they have bought a car. जैसा कि लेसन में बताया गया है, so you know that she shouted loudly at the hands, shoo shoo, इशे वो तून वगैरह ये बातें कही शामिल हैं। And hear her and know that they have bought a car. She cursed the hands in usual language. Usual language پنٛنہِ زبٲنۍ منٛز ووٚنُکھ اَسہِ یہِ چھِ اوٚوُہ تووُن زَن نہٕ زانٛہہ کھیوٚمتُے چھُو کینٛہہ دَپہِ اِنسان یِم چھِ پھاکے خبر کٔژَن دۄہَن ہٕنٛز یِم کۄکرِ. So the hands in usual language show plague on you. So meanwhile there are some words which we will perhaps like to learn. There's word glance. Glance मैंने आपको कहा take a brief view और a hurried look adjacent. our next door जो है neighbor है यहाँ पे. adjacent means हमारे adjoining एरिया में जो दूसरा चीज़ है जो बिल्कुल साथ में है. और plague, it is a contagious disease symptomatic of high fever. Okay, thank you. I think this is today do. Uh, Thank you, students.